My name is Thomas McNutt. I'm a junior political science major from Dallas, Texas, and I am running to be student body president at Texas A&M University. Last year, I had Chris Tucker, who's a friend of mine, a colleague in SGA, who ran for student body president last year, mentioned to me that I should run, and I had never even considered it before. But that's when I started thinking about it, because it was like, what, student body president? And eventually 2 or 3 other people mentioned it to me from different groups at different times, and it was something that there was no one moment, but a lot of thought, and for me a lot of prayer, talking to my family went into it. You know, this year I was an officer in the student senate. I was the student services chair, and as the student services chair, you serve to serve the students in on-campus non-academic issues, so facilities, dining services, transportation, etc. And I realized the real benefit the student government can have. If you'll just go sit down with an administrator and say, hey, I think that we can change this or that, and I think it would make things just a little bit better. They're willing to listen to you, and they're nice people, and they're wonderful people, and they want to help, and they have more resources than you do. And by working together, you really can get things done. And so I started realizing, if I'm able to make just a little bit of change as a Senate officer, imagine how much we could do if, oh gosh, if I ran for student body president. And so it happened somewhere in the fall or summer. I am a member of Beta Epsilon Chi, Bucks. It's a Christian fraternity, about 150 guys, and we get together on Monday nights. We're not a Greek fraternity, but we're a Christian fraternity. We meet at All Faith Chapel, and we're a bunch of goofballs, and we do community service and support each other. I'm also a volunteer football coach at a high school in Bryan at Brazos Christian School. I've been able to do this for the last 2 years. I'm approaching 800 hours of community service since coming to Texas A&M, volunteering as a coach and a mentor at the high school in Bryan. I get the opportunity. It is the funnest thing on earth to coach and mentor middle school and high school age athletes. This year the Fighting Eagles went 11-2 and came 1 point in overtime to winning the state championship in their private school division, 11-man football. I'm in student government. I've been in the student senate for 2 different sessions. I've represented the off-campus caucus. I've represented the liberal arts caucus. I ran to be the student services chair, which chairs the largest committee in the student senate, which I was successful in gaining that, and we did a lot of good in the student services committee. We still are. Jeff Pickering, my friend who's the student body president, approached me along with Tanner Wilson, the Speaker of the Senate, and asked me to chair the SGA Committee on Student Fees, which I was happy to do. We assembled a team and decided not to increase fees this year, considering the climate economically. I'm paying my way through school, and so I understand that the times are tough for families, and if we can keep fees down, we should do that. So SGA, volunteering, fraternity, school, there's quite a lot. So I was a camp counselor this summer at Kanakuk Camps. It was a Christian sports camp. Volunteered my time there. Funnest experience ever. Again, mentoring and coaching kids. So. I would say the relationships. You know, there are no losers in this race, personally. I believe that we can do the most good for the student body. Our campaign can. I think that we have the most diverse campaign with over 100 student organizations represented. And we've gotten just tremendous support, and it is incredibly flattering. It's humbling at the same time. But I just think about, gosh, sometimes I just think about all the relationships that I've built through this campaign that I never would have built if I hadn't stepped through this door and taken this leap of faith. But it has just been incredible, the support. You get to know people so well. So in short, I would say it's the relationships that we've been able to build in the process of trying to improve Aggie land. So I don't know what I love more, food or working out, and I guess it's a good combination. But I love exercising. I love lifting weights and running and swimming. I love food and eating mass quantities of food. I love being social. I've got a wonderful friend group, a wonderful support group. I enjoy good music. I was in choir in high school. I did theater in high school as well. I enjoy following every single Texas A&M athletic team. You know, I'm not always a huge fan of certain sports, but if they're Aggies, I'm huge fans of them. So I'm a big sports fan. Love physical fitness. Love food, movies, friends. Very involved at my church, Central Baptist. The reason that we're in this is to put students first. And I know that a lot of people can say that, but we sincerely mean that. I'm going to be sitting at the exact same seat in Sabisa Dining Hall all next year for 2 hours every Monday when we win this thing. So any student can come up to me, young or old, and say, "Hey McNutt, let's do better recycling in our dorms," or "Hey McNutt, let's turn chopsticks into a donut shop." You know, I mean, there are a lot of really, really good ideas on campus, and students need a voice. I think that there's a disconnect between the uninvolved student and the very involved SGA student, and I think that's a problem. I'm afraid that if we went up to the normal student on the street and said, "Hey, what has your student government done for you lately?" I'm not really sure they would have an answer. And I think that we can fix that, or at least improve a lot. Now, I'm in student government. We have a wonderful student body president, and I'm student government does wonderful things, but there's a disconnect there that I really want to fill in of communication. I don't want to just affect the 1,900 kids that are involved in students, excuse me, that are involved in student government. I want to affect the 49,000 that are at this university that don't know how to improve campus. They see problems, they see cracks in the sidewalk, they don't know where to take them. They see their fees going up, but they don't know how to affect that. Those people need a voice, and that's why I'm running. There are so many. I mean, see, I'm an emotional guy. Like, I get goosebumps when I see, you know, the RVs or the fish drill team walking by. So, I mean, all of them. Gosh, Muster, Silver Taps, 12th Man. I'll say that it has to be Muster. I mean, what other university does that? What other university gets together and recognizes every single fallen current or former student from their university? They're not doing that at OU. They're not doing it at that school down in Austin. They're not doing it at these other schools. It's unheard of. And the fact that we get together in one of the largest universities in the country, and we get together as Aggies and remember those who are fallen, who we didn't even know. And I mean, that is incredible. So I think that's, if there was a favorite of mine, if I had to pick one, that would be it.